One of the most common questions I get from artists is if I'm releasing multiple songs, how should I think about allocating my advertising budget? What should my promo strategy be if I'm releasing, say, an EP or an album? And how should I divvy things up across songs? So, spoiler, I don't think that there is one right answer to this question, but in this video, I will give you two ways of thinking about it and hopefully help you solve it for yourself as you're making your own marketing plans. So, without further ado, let's get into it. All right, so here is the main question you should be asking as you are thinking about your release strategy and allocating your budget. Do you want to allocate streams equally across the songs you're releasing? So if you are releasing a 4-song EP, do you want to allocate things equally across that? Or are you just concerned with getting the most total streams and views and traffic on your music? If the answer is the first one and you want to allocate things evenly, then congratulations, you chose the easy path, and all you have to do is make a plan and stick to it for every song. And this is super general, but I would recommend something like 80% of your budget toward meta ads, maybe 20% of your budget toward playlisting, and then a bunch of your free time toward making content. And I would just repeat that for all 4 songs. That would allocate things evenly across whatever release schedule you have. But if your goal is to get the most streams and traffic possible on your music, then in this case, what you want to do is put as much of your budget as possible on whatever your best performing song is. And so this gets a little bit tricky, but here's one way that you might go about doing that. So for our hypothetical scenario, let's imagine that you have $1,000 in marketing budget and you have a 4-song EP that you're going to release 1 song at a time over 4 months. How should you break things up? So the first thing I'd do would be to rank your songs in the order of what you think is the strongest. So in other words, I would want to lead with what I think is my strongest song to give myself the most chance at promoting that song over the longest period. There are different ways to kind of gauge which songs will perform better. You can just go based on your hunch, which is honestly what I usually do. You can ask friends and family, Submit Hub, Hot or Not. There are different places you can basically get feedback from people on your songs. So those are options for ranking your songs, but the general idea is you want your strongest songs to be out for longer so that you can put more budget toward them so that they can get the most streams possible. Okay, so again, $1,000 in ad spend, 4 songs over 4 months. With that first song, we're going to put $250 in meta ad spend toward it, and we will just see how it goes. In that first month, if it gets to a really good place, then I would just keep putting the ad spend toward that song rather than promoting any other songs. So here's how you could tell if it is doing well or not. If you are getting a cost per result of 30 cents or below, if you are getting a streams per listener above 2 and especially above 2.5, if you are getting more than a 10% save rate, and if you are getting more than 50% of your conversions on meta ads to translate into saves of the song. So if all of those things are true, I would just keep putting meta ad spend toward that song as you release the next songs, and almost certainly that's going to be the best use of your money because you have a campaign that's performing really well. Just keep doubling down on what works. Now, if you spend that 1/4 of the budget and it isn't a super successful campaign, at that point, I would switch over to the next song, but I would still keep about 20% of my budget running toward the first song, just in case the second song performs worse. And so with the second song, let's say again, month 2, you have $250 in this month. I would put $200 toward the new song and $50 toward the old song. And over the course of the first couple of weeks, you'll probably figure out if the new song outperforms the old song. If that happens, just push the rest of the budget toward that. If the new song does not outperform song number 1, then I would switch back the budget towards song number 1. And I would just repeat this process for songs 3 and 4. So basically, you want to have whatever song has been the current winner running at a little bit of ad spend and testing each new song that you put out to see if you can get just a campaign that crushes it. If you ever do get a campaign that crushes it, double down, put the rest of your ad spend on that campaign. But that is the general flow. So just to recap, release a song a month. You're always running ads, you're putting your strongest song first, and then you're testing things until you find a winning campaign. That is how I would think about releasing a project, multiple songs, if you really want to just maximize the total number of streams and traffic. All right, so hopefully that line of thinking was helpful. I also want to say, honestly, just follow your gut. If you just want to allocate streams evenly across 4 songs, then do that. There isn't a right answer. Like, the right answer is not to just get the most streams possible necessarily. It might be if you want that, but if you have a project that you feel like deserves to be heard in full, and some of those songs you just know aren't going to perform as well in ad campaigns or advertising, but you still want to get them heard, that's fine. There isn't a right answer to this stuff. It depends on what you're going for in marketing your music. Yeah, but hopefully it's just helpful as you're thinking through those questions. If you don't want to feel feel so alone in marketing your music, I would invite you to join our community, the Million Streams membership, just $15. And we have a great community of artists who are working through stuff like this all the time. And I also have all my music marketing courses in there. But just in general, wishing you good luck as you think about making and marketing your music. I hope that you're able to get it heard, and I hope you're feeling encouraged. As always, you got this.